Hello everyone, my name is Jerry Juice, and today I'm going to continue transforming this village. I know it's been several months since I've worked on this, but that's okay. So, let's get right into this. In today's video, I want to work on making a harbor. The first thing I want to work on is getting rid of this peninsula, because if this were a real village, then most boats would have trouble navigating around it. Now right where I wanted to put our harbor, we had this shipwreck. I didn't really know what to do with it, so I just got rid of it. Now coming up here, I wanted to work on the docks. I just started with a cobblestone wall with a log every 4 or 5 blocks. I then added oak planks between all the logs. I also added this dock, and I made it on a 2-block diagonal, which is going to make my life a lot harder down the road. No harbor is completed without boats. Unfortunately, I have very little experience in making boats, so this is gonna be interesting. For this first boat, I made a small one just so I can get the hang of making boats. Now that I've finished that boat, I'm gonna take a break and work on the docks. I'm just gonna define the shape and make a few minor changes, such as adding in mossy cobblestone and andesite for extra texture. And since the docks cut into the land a little bit, of course I need to do a bit of terraforming to fix that up a bit. Now that we have that out of the way, let's make another boat. This one I'm going to make much bigger, and since I'm building it next to a dock that is on a 2-block diagonal, I also need to build this on a 2-block diagonal. Now making it on a 2-block diagonal is a huge challenge, especially around the bow. I probably spent maybe 45 minutes just trying to get the bow right. As you can see, after a little while, I just got so frustrated with the bow that I destroyed the whole boat and started over again. The second time around, I made the boat a little bit smaller, and in the end, I finally got the bow to look good. Now that I had the body of the boat done, I could start adding other details. The first thing I added were 3 masts. I also threw a bunch of buttons, pressure plates, and trapdoors all around, which I found are great detailers for things like this. I even put a flag on top of each of the masts. I'm still not quite happy with this boat, so I've decided that I'll try and make another one and see if I can learn anything from it. This boat, I'm gonna make it look like it is sailing away from the harbor. On this boat, I put a little room on the back. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but I think it's made it look 10 times better. So, I'm gonna go see what it looks like when I put it on the big boat. And since I took out the rear mast on this boat, I needed to make this front one bigger to make up for it. Now that this is almost done, I've decided to ask my sister for any suggestions. The first thing she suggested was to mix some oak wood into this boat. She also suggested that I should raise the oak around the dock by a slab. Now I feel like it's worth mentioning that around this time, my brother changed my skin and I didn't notice till the end. So, I have different skin now. Now I like how I mixed mossy cobblestone into the dock. So, I decided that I should try doing that all around the entire wall. Now I believe that no harbor is complete without grain, or in this case, a tread wheel. And since I built this, I need to do some terraforming around it. I feel like I could say that like 4 or 5 times in this entire video if I wanted to. So I've been looking around the village, and I've noticed that there are a lot more workstations than beds. So I thought I could try and fix this by adding another house with 4 beds in it. The village also has a shortage on farms, so I added a farm along the side of this house. When looking for things to do, I also noticed that this hill needs to be terraformed a little bit. Right outside the village, I decided to get rid of these ponds and the lava lake, just because I didn't feel like they fit. I also extended the path out a little bit. Coming over here, the harbor still seemed a little bit small, so I extended it out on each side. This did mean I would need to destroy some of the wall. Back over where we built this house, I decided to add a side entrance with the path coming out of it. This path I wanted to go over by the harbor, then head away from the village. The main goal of this path was to show that there are other villages out there that they do have contact with. To sell this as much as possible, I had the path go as far away as possible and even built a bridge to get it into the taiga biome. The last thing I could think that every harbor needs is a lighthouse. So the first thing I did was I came to this island and converted most of it to our cobblestone and andesite mix. My first attempt at the lighthouse did not go well at all, so I destroyed the whole thing and tried again. On my second attempt, I tried to make it out of cobblestone and andesite, which did look good. However, in the end, it did look more like a mad scientist's evil lair than a lighthouse. Well, that's all I've built for this episode. Let's go take a tour of everything that I've built. I really love how this harbor turned out. Now let's look at some before and afters. This will likely be the last video with this village. However, in the future I might transform another village or naturally generating structure. Please feel free to leave a seed and coordinates of a structure that you'd like me to transform down in the comments. Well, that's all I have for today. If you are new to the channel, then please consider subscribing, and I will see you next time. Bye.